Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west.
Hey, shalom, Israel. ISUPK presents the Lord's 56th annual Passover going down right here in Atlanta, Georgia. We got a whole bunch of events lined up for y'all, including the annual lamb slaughter. You already know. Then it's the Hebrew Academy trial. Oh, boy. Next, we got the children's party. Then, you know, we got General Muhammad's scripture breakdown class and the Hebrew Academy graduation. The Lord's 56th annual Passover. Pay your Passover fee. It's only $200 to get all these exclusive events. Real black culture. The general's in attendance and the stage is set. It's going down. April the 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. This event is only for the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indigenous people. We got a week full of events from April the 9th and the 13th. But remember, you got to pay that Passover fee. It's only $200 to get every event exclusively. Here's the itinerary for the Lord's 56th annual Passover. April the 9th is the annual lamb slaughter. April the 10th is the kids' party. At 7 p.m. later that night, General Muhammad's scripture breakdown class. April the 11th, the Hebrew Academy graduation. Later that night at 8 p.m. is the all-black party. April the 12th is the Lord's 56th annual Passover. April the 13th is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. $200, 17 years or older, pay your Passover fee. See you in Atlanta, Israel. Shalom.
I'm willing to fight against drug dealers if they Muslim, if they Christian, if they atheist, if they Buddhist, if they shooting black men. Guess what? I'm gonna say something about it. Because you know why? Just like you ain't gonna, like your boy said, it ain't gonna happen. Guess what? I'm not letting nobody sell you drugs without me saying that. I'm not gonna do it. You know why? You know why? You know why? Because even though I don't know you, guess what? Just like that's your boy, guess what? I'm your boy. Even though I don't know you, I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it's worth something.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good break. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good ship. Plus when you in hell, how did you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword, with a style that they might just record. The only thing equal is the curse for the wicked and the righteous reward. Have mercy on the men that don't see it, separated from the tares. Now on my prayers, and it's so be it. A rebel, take the world by word of mouth. UPK, we the rebels that you heard about. Yeah. And it ain't gonna stop till 100 virgins in the house and I'm handing verdicts out. Get rank, you ain't heard a clout without a shadow of a doubt. These devils hitting licks off us. Fuck the bank, I'm about to stone the pocket ticket office. Can't sweet talk us, cannot stop us. And plus I know the feds watching us. Telling people that they church full of witch doctors. Put us in prison, they stockpile us. Meanwhile, UPK turning rebels into rock wallers. In league with mighty men, and now I understand things that never truly made sense. Like why I'm crying at this funeral for a criminal, knowing he ain't innocent. It's fucked up, but my boo shine, standing between two priests, about to blaze on their heads, call it tough love. Look out for niggas just clubs and wouldn't touch a white bitch with O'Shea's black gloves. Father, forgive me for my error. I'm forever by your side. Clean and purge me of all my flaws. This the reason I'm alive. Thank God for this truth. Cause for a long time was a rebel without a cause. Look, man. First time I met Commander Junior Hunter, man, hit 3807. Rebel without a cause. My little daughter with me. Opened the door, he was dropping the truth on me and all that. Rebel without a cause. Man, you know, you do your time. We taking the mountains, training in hand-to-hand combat. Rebel without a cause. This the reason I'm alive. Thank God for this truth, cause for a long time was a rebel without a cause.
You cannot whoop us. We're already dead. We're already beaten down. We've been beaten down for 400 years. We already got the wounds inside and outside our bodies. How you gonna hurt us? You cannot threaten us. You cannot frighten us. We live in the most frightening places, under the most frightening conditions. We are immune to fear. We are immune to harm. You see what I'm saying? You have stepped into a cesspool. You're the only one gonna get infected.
Test 1, 2. 2, 2, 2. 2. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. The Lord said, confession good for the soul. So right now,
all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. And shot call. To be known with them niggas letting shots off. Either that or the right hand to the top dog. Funny how we see vanity, not the lives lost. Can't be focused on the life that's hopeless. Out there pumping, not knowing the used to roll with niggas.
Straight to ecstasy. All right. Let's clap it up. Clap it up. All right. It's Wednesday night. It's law class. You understand? In law class, we're going to learn about some laws. Some laws going to be, present history. Some going to be, biblical history. We just going to go through it all because it all, comes together. And we have to live by law. That's the only way, we can live as a righteous people. You understand? We have to abide by some laws. Now, the laws that we have as Israel, as the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives, we have the Bible. That is our law. That is our constitution. You understand? That is our moral compass. You understand? The world that we are living in has their laws too. You understand? But a lot of their laws go against what the Most High tells us to do. You understand? And sometimes not sometimes, but all the time, we have to take our laws and let our laws override our oppressors' laws. You understand? And as long as we follow the laws of the Most High, we can never, break the oppressor's laws. We already know that. You understand? I want to start off today's class. I got a book by Claude Anderson. It's called Dirty Little Secrets. You understand? This is a good book to get. It's got a lot of history in it. And I found a couple of things in here that, maybe we need to, listen to and touch on a little bit. You understand? So this first one, it's in the 1860s, the 14th Amendment to the Constitution was enacted. And I also want to remember what's the title of today's class is America's Laws Have Destroyed Israel. And when I say America's laws have destroyed Israel, I'm talking about the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives. We already see what's going on with us in America, staying in the Caribbean islands, abroad, in the UK, wherever we reside at. All of the laws of our oppressor always go against us. A lot of the laws that our oppressor create are created to keep us in bondage. You understand? And we're going to go through some of those laws today. Now, I'm going to get back to what I was speaking about. In the 1860s, the 14th Amendment to the Constitution was enacted to give blacks due process rights. Now, they always create something and act like they're doing something for us. You understand? They always, throw something up in there. We want to give you, equal rights, or we want to give you due process and things like that to get us all pumped up and get us behind us. And they get us to do anything that they want when they, when we feel like we're getting something from them. And this is one of those things right here. It says the Constitution was enacted to give blacks due process rights. Yet for nearly a century afterwards, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled against every due process rights case involving blacks. So even though they create laws that seem like they're helping us, they can deactivate those laws. You understand? Go ahead. Due process, like, hold up, let's go. Let's look that up. Let's make sure we get the proper definition for due process. You understand? Let's go. Wow. Because we don't want to give anybody. All right, here we go, right? Due process is the legal principle that ensures the government exercises its powers fairly. Now listen to what it's saying. Due process is a legal principle that ensures the government exercises its powers fairly and according to established rules. It's a fundamental guarantee of the U.S. Constitution, with the Fifth Amendment stating that no one can be deprived of life, liberty, or property without it. So, you get due process. That's like saying innocent till proven guilty, like that. You understand? So a property without due process requires legal matters are resolved fairly and according to established rules and principles. Listen, our oppressor creates all kinds of laws to make us believe that we are included. Right. But we are not. You understand? And like we always say, it's that illusion of inclusion. And this is the reason why America has a lot of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives so fixated and intrigued and in romance with America, because we believe that we are a part of America, right, when we are far from being a part of America. And if you look at what happens to us and think about it, right? You got Asians, and America's, is beefing with Korea and China, right? You understand? You got Arabs here. They beefing with Pakistan, Afghanistan, and all of them, right? They got the East Indians here, right? They beefing, I said Pakistan, but Pakistan on the other side of India. You understand? They beefing with them and everything. But none of these people experience the brutality that we experience from this oppressor. Right. Why is that? Because America has us fixated like we belong, when we should know that we don't belong. Right. All these other nations, they come over here, they know their country's at war with America, but they understand that they can be here but not be a part of America. Right. We are here and believe that we are a part of America when we are not. You understand? America totally uses us. You understand? And even through all of that, no matter what happens, we continually fall back in love with America. You understand? Now, with that scripture that you got, right, grab that scripture for me. I need you to hit that for me loud.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. Go ahead.
When the righteous are in the door, the people rejoice.
It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. I need you to really think about what's being said. You understand? It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When righteous people rule, people are at ease. You understand? People rejoice because they know, even if they're not at the top of the pecking order, they know they're going to be treated fairly. You understand? Us being in America, no matter how rich we become, no matter what positions we attain, we know at the end of the day, we will not be treated fairly. You understand? The scripture says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. People are happy with righteous rulership. America has never shown righteous rulership. And you have to, when you think about that, right, you have to, you can take a seat, take a seat. When you think about that, right, you have to think about, look at how America was built. You understand? America was built with the dregs of Britain. These were their criminals. You understand? They're unalivers. You understand? These were their essayers. All of these people that got sent over here on those Mayflowers, you know, that they call pilgrims, that they was telling us when we were children. These were the worst of the worst. You understand what I'm saying? So think about it, right? I don't know. You know anything about dogs? Breeding dogs. When you breed dogs, right? You breed dogs for characteristics. So you put a dog, if you want a dog with size, you take another dog with size and you continually breed. And when you get one, you take one from another litter that has size. And eventually, when you do that, eventually all of your dogs come out with size or whatever you trying to breed for, however you breed. Well, if you send a whole slew of criminals from a particular nation, and they come over here and they continually breed with each other, what do you expect to get? Criminality. You understand? And today, what do we see? Criminality. Think about the laws that they create. You know, it's okay to be gay. Think about all of the rights that they have been that have been given to the LGBTQ or the trans community. Think about all of those things. All of those very things go against what the Bible tells us, right? This is not righteous rulership. You understand? Just like you said, you just read it. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. You understand? We are not rejoicing. Think about it. You can't even disagree or go against or say something against what those, people do. You understand? But they can say everything that goes against or everything that goes against them about what you do. You understand? That's not righteous rulership. And that's the reason why America is destroyed today. You understand? That's why we're sitting in a cesspool of evilness. You understand? Of ungodliness. This is the reason why we're in the condition that we're in, because a lot of our people fall right in line with America. You understand? Go ahead, finish that scripture for me.
But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
And look at us. We just talked about that, right? We're in mourning today because the wicked beareth rule. You understand? And the wicked ruleth with an iron fist. You understand? We are destroyed as a people when you stand and you believe in the customs and the cultures of America. You understand? America has destroyed the children of Israel. You understand? Has not totally destroyed the children of Israel, because there are righteous men here. You understand? There are righteous men here. The ISUPK. You understand? And if you come up under this cover, you understand, you can be under this righteous rule. Go ahead.
Because, like, if you go through life in America by following what you might deem as, regular work or regular 9 to 5 people,
right?
You struggling. But they give the money to the criminality,
Right.
the lifestyle. If you do this, you talk about this, we won't pay you.
Hey, listen.
And it's crazy how like they wonder why so many of our people they fall for this lie because they like, well, doing this, what I'm gonna get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, they pay if I do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's real heavy what you bringing up.
Well, and that's the reason why a lot of us fall into America's witchcraft. You understand? Because we see what's happening.
Right.
And we figure, well, it's only one way to go.
Right.
You understand? We don't even give righteousness a chance.
Right.
We fall straight into it. And I mean, think about when Kamala Harris ran, right? She's not of us, right? But how many of our women stood up and stood behind her? How many of those brothers stood up and came on a podcast, came on a show talking about we need to stand behind a person that's not even of our family?
Right.
You understand? East Indian, to be precise.
Right.
You understand? It's easy for us to fall for America's witchcraft. You understand? But we got to be stronger than that.
Right.
It says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Right.
Well, look at us today. It's not hard to see that we're mourning. Think about it. Even people with the so-called bag, even they're mourning.
Right.
Think about it, right? They can't say how they really feel.
Right.
They have strings hanging from them. They got the puppeteer guiding them. And a lot of people see what's happening and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to them. But because they take in the bag, they'll take that embarrassment.
Right.
You understand? They'll take that humiliation. You understand? And that's how people become destroyed.
Right.
Because then what happens is you have people who don't get the bag or don't take the bag or don't have the bag and then turn around and follow those people,
right,
listening to the witchcraft again that has been spewed to them, and then they're spewing it to people, you understand, the lesser. You understand?
And then like America, maybe where we don't take the bag, don't nobody like that's a dumb decision for not taking the bag.
Right. And how many times have we heard that? Think of the brother said, we look at people who don't take the bag, and then other people look at them and say that's a dumb decision of not taking the bag.
Right.
You understand? See, and righteousness is looked at as being evil.
Right.
And evil is looked at as being righteousness now. You understand what I'm saying? What the Bible tells us that is that you understand? Woe unto the ones who call evil good and good evil.
Right.
You understand? That's what's happening in the American government right now. Look at it. It's falling apart. Think about America, right? And we call this what? The United States. The United States, right? But how can you be united if you have Democrat and Republican, if you have blue and red states?
Right.
That's not united.
Right.
You understand? You unite under one thing.
Right.
You understand? It's one body, one mind, one West.
Right.
You understand? Ain't nothing beyond that. But America is divided. You can go from one state and a law in another state sitting right next to it be totally different. That can't be united. See, that's an oxymoron. You understand? We don't even look at the things that America does in contradicting itself. Right. United States. How can states be united when they're warring against each other? Right. You understand? Blue and red states. I mean, everything they going against each other in every way. You got governors beefing with other governors because of laws in their states are different from laws in their states. You understand? Oh, and they calling each other out right there on the Senate floor, right on the Congress floor. You understand what I'm saying? Not to mention the what's that? The Congressional Black Caucus. Right. All of those. You understand? All of them suckers. You understand what I'm saying? And then they lead us astray. You understand what I'm saying? Where we at? I got it. Go ahead. Are we finished that? You can drop. We finished that, right? Yeah, you can drop that. Where I'm gonna go at now, because I got another I got another thing that we're gonna talk about, right? But before we really hit that PowerPoint right there, I want to hit this. This is another law, and I brought this one out because this law was created right here in Maryland, right in Baltimore, not specifically in Baltimore, but right here in the state of Maryland. This law was the first law, one of the first, I want to say one of the first laws, but one of the first racial laws created in America. All right. So with that, I want you to grab Psalms 55, 20, and 21. Right? No. Hold that. I'm gonna read this, right? Again, I'm reading from Dirty Little Secrets, Claude Anderson. I got two of his books. I got the Black Label White Wealth. I'll be reading back and forth. I'll be going back and forth. I need to go in and finish it, but it'd be so much. You know what I mean? But this is a law created in Maryland, right? And I talk about this law all the time because all the way up till just before I came into the truth, I ain't know nothing about this. And it's incredible the laws that have been created to destroy us. Right. Again, that's the title of the class today. You understand America's laws destroyed Israel, have destroyed Israel, right? This law, let me read this. It says, before Maryland colony came into existence in 1634, newly arrived European whites and African blacks intermingled and socialized reasonably well, right? In 1638, however, the Maryland colony issued a public edict encouraging separation of the races. It became the basis of public policy for race relations in America. The Council for the Maryland Colony Edict stated, neither the existing black population, their descendants, nor any other blacks shall be permitted to enjoy the fruits of white society. The public edict later became more commonly known as the Doctrine of Exclusion. It's actually called the Maryland Doctrine of Exclusion of 1638, clearly stating that no slave, descendant of a slave, or black person shall enjoy the fruits of white society. That's a law, and that's a law that's still on the books today. Now, we're going to go through it, and we're going to, see how a law from 1638 still exists today, right? Now, it says no slave, descendant of a slave, or black person. So now, listen what they did, right? They covered the slave, they covered the slave's children and the slaves that got freed, and any black person from there on. Right. That's from the beginning of slavery up into the present day. Right. Our oppressor creates a thing, not just for one day, but they look toward the future, right, to make sure that they ensure their survival. Right. So they created a law that states that no slave, descendant of a slave, no black person shall enjoy the fruits of white society. What's the fruit of white society? Nah, that's not a fruit of white society. That's not think about what a fruit is, right? What do you have with how do you get a fruit? Right. So what do you have to do? You have to plant a seed, and that thing has to grow. And then when you put one seed in the ground, what happens? It grows, and you get what? But it could be a tree, it could be but the thing is you put one thing in the ground, and then from that one thing you get many things. So much so that you are able now to feed your family, somebody else's family, that family. A fruit of white society is anything that you can take and build a community and a nation off of.
Right.
You understand? So now, understanding that a fruit of white society can be a college. A fruit of white society can be a community, a school. You understand? Because from off of a lot of things, you can build a bank. You understand? Even with a single shopping mall, think about Mondawmin Mall. You understand? Think about how much wealth that mall built. Now think about this, right? Mondawmin Mall was built way before Columbia Mall. But Mondawmin Mall withstood the test of time. Columbia Mall damn near shut down. And now they rebuilding it. But Mondawmin Mall has never even looked like the doors was gonna close. Even during COVID. Go ahead.
I remember I was looking up, in the military, it's your city versus the other city.
Right.
Now, I remember looking up, Mondawmin Mall is like one of the most selling malls in America.
Right.
Like, and I'm like, yo, this is Mondawmin, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I did want to harp on the part that you're bringing out so powerful, right? They implemented this in 1630.
Right.
When slaves got so-called free when they passed the amendment, right?
Well, that was 1863, 1865 for people down south when they found out. So 1638 is when the law was created. Go ahead.
So that point in time, black people was together.
Right.
Then what these devils decided to do was, okay, we're gonna give them this idea of civil rights. So now instead of them forcing you to give up your little house in your town you built, and we ain't gotta go in there and take it, you gonna give it to us.
Right.
And we marched, and now eventually, so it's like that. This is what they wanted.
Remember what we always say, right? Whenever you integrate into anything, you become the thing that you integrate into. So when you go into somebody's house, you don't bring your rules with you. You live by their rules. Anything that you have to leave outside, and you have to take what they have. You have to give everything of yours away, and you have to accept what they have, point blank. So like, let's say you get evicted and you got to move in with somebody. You can't bring all your furniture to their house because they already got furniture. You got to put that away. You got to give that stuff away. You got to come here and live under. And then once you come in, you have to live under our rules. What we say go. This is what integration did to us. This is what destroyed us. That civil rights movement totally destroyed us. I want to go one further with you since you brought that up. Where was we at? We was at the doctrine of exclusion, right? So now we understand what the fruits of white society is, right? The fruits of white society is anything that you can take and you can build a nation off of. Gas stations, you understand? Those big industries, those big corporations, those are things that you can build a nation off of. Think about this, right? How did Elon Musk become an industry giant?
Right.
How did he become one? You know?
I don't know.
He got Tesla. He got SpaceX and all of that. How does a man become a billionaire and become the richest man in the world? No, you didn't. You know why? Because he was born a billionaire. Born a billionaire. Remember, his father was in Africa stealing minerals, stealing emeralds, stealing diamonds, stealing gold from over in Africa. So by the time Elon Musk and his sister and brother came along, the three of them, they were born into being billionaires. They didn't come up, you understand, to see their father work his way up out of an industry or something like that. Our oppressor does what he does, creates his laws and robs people.
Right.
You understand? So Elon Musk is only carrying on the tradition of robbing people, is what he's doing today. Think about this, right? Why would Donald Trump put 100% tariff on China's electric cars? Because think about it, right? Go ahead. What you going to say?
messing up Elon Musk.
So because now we hand in hand, if I put a tariff on an electric car, now an electric car comes over here that they say Elon Musk has a $50,000 or $60,000 car, but China's making them for $30,000, right? So if we do a double tariff on China, that means a $30,000 car be what? 100% tariff. That's a $60,000 car now. So now you got a car over here, 50,000. You got a 60,000. Which one you gonna buy? You're gonna buy the 50, right? So now, again, Elon Musk stealing.
Right.
You understand? Even though they're doing it in an underhanded and a crooked way, this is what the oppressor does. Go ahead.
What I'm saying, when you bring up so heavy, because there's a law in Baltimore. What is it, like 2028 or something? Everybody gotta have electric cars. Who we gonna buy?
Yeah, and this is what. Yeah, and this is another thing I was listening to CNN today. They talking about. You understand? You can't. Well, Trump talking about. You know, he doesn't want to go the electric car way for 100% of everybody. So it's going to be a give and take. I don't like electric cars anyway. I like gas. I want some gas in mine. But these are the things that these are the laws that they create to destroy a nation. You understand? And remember, I think we talked about this a few weeks ago. This is the reason why you have Pakistan and India. They used to be just India.
Right.
But America went in and destabilized India, and now it became Pakistan and India. These are the same people. These are the same people warring with each other because of America. Same thing with North and South Korea. Well, they stupefied Ukraine. You understand? They did the same thing to Ukraine. What they did was they overthrew the government, and then they brought in Zelensky, and now Zelensky is playing out, you know, as a proxy for America to be at war with Russia. But now that Ukraine is getting the bottom tore out of them, now they trying to want to negotiate, but they want to try to do underhanded negotiations with Russia. But that's white on white crime. We're going to leave that. You understand what I'm saying? But you dig, right? So the fruits of white society is anything that can build a nation. So this is what they keep us from. That's that Maryland doctrine of exclusion of 1638 is what keeps us right where we are. So in America, we don't own any big industries. We don't own any clothing companies. We don't own any textile companies. We don't own any schools. We don't own anything that can build our community up. Not only that, we are welfare recipients, meaning we have to go to them to get work. We can't even go to our own people. We got to go to them to get housing. We have to go to them to get food.
Right.
Everything we need, we have to go to them. You understand what I'm saying? So they placed us in a condition to where we had to be subservient to them.
Right.
We are subservient to these people because we go to them for all wants. It tells us that in the Bible. We won't go to them for all wants, for thirst and for hunger. You understand? For everything. We look to them for everything. That's why a lot of us can't see ourselves living without the oppressor, because we've been so brainwashed and we have become homegrown slaves. The Bible tells us that. What is Israel now? A homegrown slave? We become to having a love for our oppressor. You understand? And woman keep getting slapped around. Eventually she figured, well, I guess this was supposed to happen. I guess this love. You know what I mean? All the way up to the oppressor unalives it. You understand? And then we want to cry and we want to march and do all of that type of stuff. And the thing about it is those type of things is what the oppressor wants. You understand? He wants a peaceful protest. Yeah, let them protest as long as it's a peaceful protest. Yes, we're with you. What do you guys need? What do you need? You know what I mean? They always do that. You understand? And we always fall for it. Now, You brought out something. Go ahead. What you great say?
I was gonna say it was so heavy about what you're bringing up. This is why it's important for people to come to the truth, right? Black fans, Christians to come to, because you gotta understand we at war. It's not a game out there.
Right.
And when you said we got like we homeborn slaves, I remember in college, one of my friends and I was talking about like, yo, yeah, we know the devils, you know, they run America, but like why black people won't go get it. You know what one of my friends was black, he said, yo, I mean, well, they got the throne, so I wouldn't give it to people asking for the throne either. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, bro, you condone it. But like to say it as if it was just, oh, I understand.
Right.
Right? That's how conditionally enslaved we are. Like, oh, I understand. Yeah, they up there. So I get why they wouldn't give it to us.
Right, exactly. We homegrown slaves. Yeah. You understand? Now, you brought up something about what you brought up, the civil rights, right? I brought out, I'm gonna bring out something a little on the opposite side of civil rights. It's not the opposite side, it's next to civil rights. It's called equal rights. You know what equal rights is?
Supposedly, we supposed to be the same, like work, or we supposed to get treated the same.
Right.
Right, supposedly.
Who's supposed to get treated the same?
Well, I understand that, of course.
No. I want you to say just what you was thinking. Who's supposed to get treated the same?
Blacks, Hispanics, and Christians supposed to get treated the same.
Right. That's what we think equal rights is. Right. No. Listen, because all the way up to a few years ago, I thought the same thing. Right. But equal rights had nothing to do with black people. It had to do with white women. You understand? The equal rights movement started in 1923. 1923. It was for equal rights for white women so that they could be equal to white men. You understand? Remember, we at the bottom of the totem pole. We in our own societies at that time. They destroying our cities and towns at that time. Remember, 1923, 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma was destroyed. You understand? I think in 1923, that's when Rosewood was destroyed. I'm not for sure. I could be wrong. But I believe it was in 1923, something like that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to read this to you, right? It says in 1972, Equal Rights Amendment designed to guarantee protection against sexual discrimination for women under the law passed both houses of Congress and was sent to individual states for ratification. Do you know what ratification means? No. To ratify. What does it mean to ratify? And this is the thing that I had to look up myself, because as I was reading it, right, it kept saying to be ratified, to be ratified. You gonna find that? I got it right here, but I want you to look it up. Listen, you got it. You hitting it on the money. It's to approve and to sanction formally or to confirm. So every law that goes through the books has to be ratified before it becomes a law. So any law that is not ratified, it can be on the books and it could be up for conversation. But if it's not ratified, it is not a law. So when we keep thinking about civil rights and why we are not getting civil rights has not been ratified, nor has equal rights been ratified. So you don't have to be treated equally. But every time we hear equal rights, we got the Equal Rights Amendment. The Equal Rights Amendment hasn't been ratified. And they said it went up from 1923, it went up in Congress 49 times from 1923 to 72 and hadn't been ratified. So it had not officially been a law. All the way up until 2023, still been going up and still been denied because they didn't get enough states to ratify it. So you mean to tell me you got to get enough states to ratify it to make it a law? They create a condition Now, you think we sitting under something that's a law, and we keep talking about when the police grab us and we say, well, we got equal rights. We got the right. No, you don't. This is the reason why they can unalive you in the way that they do and get off. Because at the end of the day, those judges, those lawyers, the prosecuting attorneys, they know the law. And they know what each one of those words, and we sit there and we hear these words and we don't know anything about what these words mean, and we think we do, and we put ourselves in the clutches of the oppressor. We put ourselves in the jaws of the beast, and we get chewed alive. So now, like I said, I looked this up, right? And it says the Equal Rights Amendment failed to meet the requisite number of state ratifications, 38, by Congress's deadline of June the 30th, 1982. So it was not adopted as a constitutional amendment. In January 2020, Virginia became the 38th state to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment. However, pending legal challenges, the amendment future remains uncertain. So they have a litigation going on right now, all the way up until they said till 2023. It still hasn't been ratified. So when you sit and we hear people come on TV and say, well, we have equal rights under the law. You don't. That law has not been ratified. Now, what the Congressional Black Caucus keeps talking about every time they talk about reparations and things like that, that stuff that keep hooking black people in, what they're talking about is getting them to just bring it up in Congress, not to write it in as a law or bring it up as a law, just to bring it up as an issue, not even to bring it up and put it into law or make it or vote on it to become law. All of these things that our so-called black faces in high places keep giving us, they giving us bull crap. They know these laws. This is the reason why the title of this class is America's Laws Have Destroyed Israel. It has destroyed us. And then we have our own people in those high places helping them to destroy us. I'm getting into that too. You understand? But that was the Equal Rights Act, Psalms 55 and 20. You got that? And we talked about what ratify means. Ratify is to approve and sanction formally or to confirm something, to make something solid. You understand? When you ratify a bill becomes a law. You understand? It has to be confirmed. You got that?
Psalms chapter 55, verse 20. He had put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him.
Hey, listen, check this out. He has put forth his hands as such that be at peace with him. We always use this for the Native American Indians. We always talk about how our oppressor came in and act like he was going to make peace with them and then destroyed our Native American Indians. Well, the same thing happened to the so-called blacks. The same thing happened to the so-called Hispanics. You understand? Our oppressor has put forth his hands as such that be at peace with him. We always being at peace with our oppressor. We always looking up to our oppressor to ratify or to get these laws passed to help us to get into a better condition. Our oppressor always smiles in our face and acts like he's going to help us, but never helps us. Our oppressor has put forth his hands as such that be at peace with us, with him. Listen, our oppressor only seems or only wants to make war with us. That's it, to keep us in a whole terrible condition. Think about it, right? In order for you to really get money, or to make something of yourself, you damn near have to be a buffoon.
Right.
I mean, think about this. Think about all of the housewives shows. Have you seen those housewives shows? Think about the housewives shows. Think about how the women act on there, right? Then when you get the men included, think about how the men flip and then begin to act like women, begin to argue and beef with each other like women. You understand what I'm saying? When a man's supposed to be in control, what kind of man can't control his woman? What kind of man allows his woman to run him? You understand what I'm saying? This is what we have to do. We have to buffoon ourselves to be millionaires or to be so-called millionaires. Because anytime you can say how you really feel out of your mouth and your money can be taken from you, that's not a millionaire. That's not a billionaire. You understand? Anybody who can't think about it, right? Elon Musk comes up and says what he wants to say. He's a billionaire. Has anybody taxed him? Has anybody took money out of his account? Has anybody canceled him? That's a billionaire. That's a billionaire. When you fear to lose something, you're not what you really think you are. This is the reason why brothers and sisters have to come back to this truth. We have to get some kind of understanding. These laws of America were created to destroy us. We are a destroyed people when you trust in America. You understand? Maryland doctrine of exclusion. Think about it, right? Somebody showed me where the Maryland doctrine of exclusion got, declassified or de-ratified. Show me today where the Maryland doctrine of exclusion is not in full force. Right. Can't. We live in proof. If you have to work 2 and 3 jobs just to survive and maintain, that doctrine of exclusion is working. If you're struggling in a household as a couple with children, that doctrine of exclusion is working. We have to understand that the Most High told us, Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourself together, gather together, O nation, I desire. We're the only people, and I say this every week, damn near every week, we are the only people who don't understand that we are a nation of people that are not desired. Right. We don't understand that the other nations hate us. Think about it, right? We said it last week again. Where all the Asian ghettos at? Where all the Arab ghettos at? Where all the East Indian ghettos at? Listen, think about it. The Asians and the East Indians, number 1 and number 2 at illegal immigrants. How can an illegal come over here and not be in the ghetto? Right. Because this condition was created for us. The laws that America created were created to destroy us. It's written. The thing about it is they care so little about us that they write it down. They put it right on the internet for us to see. And we do. Walk right on past. Don't even care. You understand what I'm saying? Well, we bringing it out tonight. Right. You understand? We definitely bringing it out tonight. Think about this, right? Let's see. What this say right here? That the Maryland doctrine of exclusion, them policies prevented black people from enjoying the benefits of white society. Of course, we talked about that. The policy ensured that black people remain non-competitive and non-compensated workforce. Non-competitive. We don't compete at anything. We don't compete at the car industry. We don't even compete at the clothing industry. We don't compete at the sneaker industry. Think about this. This is where we really get ripped off at. We don't even compete at the hair and nail salon industry. Right. An industry that has become a $1 billion operation for the Asians. Right. An industry that our sisters created. They sat up there and got $1.5 million for Kamala Harris in 3 days. They can't even build an industry for themselves because we destroyed as a people. We all believe that America is fair. America is all loving. America is all world. Nothing can take us down. You understand what I'm saying? We really believe we part of America. We believe we live in that American dream. Every nation comes over here and lives the American dream. Oh, Slovakia. They live the American reality. We live the American dream. All we till we wake up. The best thing about our lives is when we go to sleep and dream. Then we come back, we wake back up into hell. You understand? It's crazy. That's crazy. But when we gonna learn? When is Israel gonna learn? Listen, it says that policy was used to institutionalize racism and segregation in Maryland. And it did. So much so that all of the surrounding colonies began to implement the Maryland doctrine of exclusion and then put their own little twist on it. So much so that slavery became everywhere. So much so that when the Civil War happened, what we thought the Civil War was? Free slaves. Yeah, whatever. Say, yo, we ain't gonna free the slaves. He could care less whether, so look, Lincoln could care less whether the slaves were free or whether the slaves stayed enslaved. The only thing he wanted to do was keep the Union together. Keep the Union together. So what did he do? He created the Emancipation Proclamation. Listen, another law created to keep us enslaved. Because right after he created the Emancipation Proclamation, what else did he create? 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment ensured that if we committed a crime, that we would be put back into slavery. So the emancipation, to be emancipated only means, and this is another thing, right? Another law words we always use. To be emancipated only means to be moved from private property into state property. So when you get arrested, you're not the property of yourself anymore. Now you become property of the state. And now we get to send you to those wildfires in California and fight and fight and fight until you die. Yeah. Because now you battling. Listen, when you say it says the state of Maryland versus, this person right here, the state of Maryland versus, right? That means this fight is over you. Whether you're going to remain in control of yourself or whether we're going to take control of you. The state versus, how is that? Because that means I'm about to lose my ownership. I'm about to be a slave again. The state versus. And we never look at that. You understand? To be emancipated only means to be taken from yourself and then to be taken over by the state. So now the state houses you in a box. The state clothe you in state gear. The state takes you out and works on the state. The state feeds you. You a slave all over again. It's like right out here. We slaves, basically, because we have to rely on our oppressor for everything. You understand? So whether you in there or out here, you still a slave. Now, our minds are free here in the UPK. Right. You understand? But we have to get all of our people to understand the condition that we are truly in. We are pulling the veil off of the eyes of our people. Now, it's hard for some people. You got people that, it's bullshit. I don't believe that. Start looking some of this stuff up. Right. This is real. All these laws that are created have been created to keep us enslaved. Every nation. Yeah, look, see that? Check it out. Yeah, just slide that right over there. That's cool. Just leave right there. That's cool. Yep. Listen, like we said, right? All of these laws have been created to keep us in the very condition that we in. You know? Think about it. Where is it at? Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I think it was one part was transcripting and the other wrote was the state of California. The population was 75% devils.
Right.
25%, black, Hispanics, and African people.
Right.
But the jail in that county was 90% black, Hispanic,
Well, that's the way they get their free labor. You understand? Think about this, right? Think about the brothers that get released every day that been in jail for 30 and 40 years and then been justified as being innocent. You understand? You mean to tell me you can have a brother spend 30 and 40 years? Oh, he's free. Oh, we're here he's free. He was innocent. We found out that he didn't. You mean to tell me you couldn't find out them years ago? You mean to tell me it was so easy right now, but now you understand what I'm saying? Those conditions are created whether you're innocent or guilty. Doesn't matter to them. You understand? As long as they take your life. That's all our oppressor wants to do, is just take your life, take your very essence. And the thing about it is we have people in high positions that help them to do that. Just like we was talking about the National Black Caucus. You understand? All of those Negroes sit up there in all of those high positions, getting their little piece of, you understand, 30 pieces of silver and destroying their own people. That's one thing about the oppressor. The oppressor will not destroy his own people. Right. And that's the reason why they have us here, so that they don't have to destroy their own people. But think about it. If we weren't around them, if we separated ourselves, if we moved away from them, they'd be destroying themselves. That's what the Most High told us, to separate from them. Revelations, give me that. Revelations, I believe it's 18:4. Revelations 18:4. Yeah, that's it right there. Read that for me.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people."
It says, "Come out of her, my people." Most High speaking to us, telling us to come out of these people. Now, listen, we're not saying that we have to leave America. But you can be in America but not be a part of America. The problem with us is that we have a lot of our brothers and sisters that have dredged themselves into being a part of America. They have fallen into the customs and cultures of America. So much so they got all these high positions, and then they help the oppressor to destroy us. They help the oppressor to enslave us. You understand? They help the oppressor to gentrify us. They help the oppressor to what's the other thing? Redline us. You understand? Taking our property. You understand? These things happen. You understand, to us today. Think about it, right? Maxine Waters been in Congress since what, 91? It's 1991. All of the things that have happened to us since 1991, how many years is that now? That's 34 years. 34 years, and you still in Congress? The only way you last 34 years is if you're on the side of the oppressor. You understand? What's the sister name? What's the other sister name? Jasmine Crockett. That one who making a big splash and talking a whole lot of garbage now. You understand? She been in Congress, what, for 2 or 3 years now, right? She making $174,000 a year. That's okay, right? I would love it. You understand? But if you're making $174,000 a year, how's your net worth $9 million? Right. How do you have a townhouse, a $2 million townhouse in Dallas, Texas. Not only does she have a $2 million townhouse in Dallas, Texas, she got a $1.5 million loft in Galveston, Texas. Then she got another $1.5 million lakefront property in Texas. How is that? And she only been in there almost 3 years. How is that? People always say, well, her husband worked too. They don't make that much money combined for her. And they didn't talk about her husband's net worth. They talked about her net worth. She making $174,000 a year, but yet her net worth is $9 million. See, when you lay in the bed with dogs, you get up with fleas. She definitely standing up with fleas. You understand what I'm saying? Then she gonna say, what was that last week? She said she don't know what $5,000 gonna do for anybody. That's when you know you laying in bed. When you can say that as a black person, you don't know what $5,000 gonna do for black people. Come on, man. We destroyed as a people, and our leaders are the ones destroying us. Go ahead. Oh, before you break into that, you got Michelle Obama. Understand? You got Hakeem Jeffries. You got Cory Booker. You got what's the dude? Raphael Warnock. Remember Reverend Warnock that ran for the didn't he run for Congress down in Georgia? Yeah. Yeah, but I've been following it since I've been in the UPK. The UPK is really what made me start getting in and looking, because when they start talking stuff and you don't know what they're talking about, that's what made me get into it. And I started really following stuff and looking at stuff and digging deep. You know what I mean? But you got all of these people and nobody stands up for black people and say, oh, this would need to be done. Now think about this. Ever since I want to say Obama, the second term of Obama, they've been holding up $500 billion, $500 million in farmers restitution for black farmers. All of the white farmers got their money, but $500 million for black farmers, and black farmers still losing their farms today. But you don't hear none of those black people talking about none of that. You understand what I'm saying? Because they could care less. As long as their coffers are getting filled, they could care less what's going on with black people. That's why I said these laws of America are destroying Israel. It's destroying our people from the root up. And these people, when your pockets are getting filled, you could care less. Think about Kwasi Mfume. I remember he was mayor here in Baltimore. He been in Congress for a very long time. I ain't heard nothing from him, and I damn near didn't even know he was in Congress till I looked it up. You understand what I'm saying? Because once they get comfortable, you understand, with the oppressor, they lay down with the oppressor. They lay down with the oppressor so much so that they can't stand for anything else. Because if they stand for anything, they get their cards pulled. Right. This is what happens. We feel like we can do the same thing that our oppressor do. But the scripture just said, come out of her, my people. You understand? Go ahead. Finish that for me.
That ye be not partakers of her sin.
That ye be not partakers of her sin. That you don't participate in her sin. And all of those people that sit up there in Congress, all of those mayors, all of those councilmen, all of those city councilmen, all of those commissioners, all those black commissioners over these black cities, you understand? They partake in this sin. Right. They partake in it. Look at us. How can you be a black city from top to bottom, but own nothing in the city? Right. You got the Asian consulate coming in, giving your mayor $60,000 so they can own about 22 or 25% of all the corner stores. How is that? You got the Arabs coming in, paying, getting all of the lounges and the bars. You go into a store, buy some kind of liquor or something. It's an Arab or Indian behind the counter. How is that?
Right.
You understand? And like I said before, America's at war with these people. So how is it that we the only nation of people suffering? Because all of these nations know exactly who we are as a people. You understand? And we got to stand up and we got to stand together as a people, because all of these nations are standing with each other as a people. Go ahead, finish that for me.
That ye receive not her plagues.
That you receive not her plagues, but they are receiving her plagues. You stand up, you receive her plagues. You understand? That's why you got these. Look, what's his name? Eric Adams. They got him on the chopping block right now.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead.
I was gonna say when you bringing out the precept, when you bringing out that everybody know that we the children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got that already in here, but I'm gonna save that for next week. Yeah. I'm gonna say that for Monday. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna finish this class off Monday, but I got a lot that I gotta cover, and I ain't really got to the part that I wanted to get to yet. But I ain't gonna be able to get to that. That's gonna be Monday. That's gonna be Monday class. But
I want to add on when you was talking about like the higher ups, it's even getting down to
when you hit the there you go. Yeah.
When you get down to even the lower level, me being the teacher, how many our people who sit there and say we gotta get our people out of the school, they don't deserve it. We should try to get even the people who's excelling in grades, that's our people.
Right.
They're trying to push them to go to predominantly double schools.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And our people on the front line try to do that. Like,
think about this, right? Look at what's his name? What's the surgeon name from Maryland? Who? Ben Carson. Yeah. Think about him, right? Went to all that prestigious school and stuff, right? And now who did he surround himself with? The devils, right? Because that's all they know. Because once they know they get the best of you, what they do is surround you with them. And then it gets to the point where that's all you know. That's why every time you go out and you see a bunch of oppressors together, it's always one. It's always that one. And you be like looking at him like, yo, how you that? Because he may have been one of our best and brightest. And then what they do is they shuffle him off and shuffle him around them. And next thing you know, he drinking and bonging with them. You understand? Waking up with a ball in his mouth, wrapped with fluffy handcuffs. You understand what I'm saying? Or he wake up somewhere under a bridge unalive. You understand? That's how it be. Think about the brother a couple of years ago that went hiking with his couple of oppressor friends. And then some other oppressors came up on him. They let them oppressors go and they trying to get him and hang him. You understand what I'm saying? This is what they do. This is the reason why he tells us to come out from them. You understand? And be not partakers of their sin. You understand? Go ahead.
I was about to say, another of them, they had a young sister went to a sleepover with her
and she ended up unalive. Out of 7 of them, she the only one that ended up waking up unalive. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the problem with us. I had a sister a couple of years back that was down in Georgia, had her son in an oppressor school, and he was getting harassed every day. And I told her, sis, you got to get him up out of there. You understand? She ain't know what to do. And, his father didn't know what to do because he would be with her part of the time and be with him part of the time. And they continually taking him back to this oppressor school. And who knows now, you know what I mean? But he was getting abused. But we always keep thinking that, if I put him in this school, he's going to be the best and the brightest and everything like that. And we destroy our children like that. We destroy our children like that just by the laws of America, letting our children believe that America is great. You understand? America's good. America's one great big mixing pot, a melting pot of bull crap like that. You understand? Fooling and lying to our children, adding sin upon sin. That's how you add sin upon sin. Keep continually lying to our children and then having our children fall into the traps of our oppressor. This is how they coming out as LGBTQ. You understand? This is how they're coming out to be the drug dealers of the earth. This is how they're coming out to be the, the robbers and the thieves and everything else, because this is not our culture. This is our oppressor's culture. This is what our oppressor does. You understand? We got to move away from our oppressor. We got to take our thing. Think about this, right? Think about all these people who went over to other countries and built schools. So you mean to tell me you go all the way to Africa to build a school, and you couldn't build a school right where you grew up at? You couldn't take that money back to your school. Right. You understand what I'm saying? How do you go to somewhere you know nothing about, and you know everything about your hood, but you don't bring nothing back to your hood? And then you got people who once a year they give out a bunch of turkeys, and or they give some kids some toys. Not nothing meaningful if you got the money. Not nothing meaningful, but something that people can say, well, I did this. You understand what I'm saying? Look at what we getting right here. Look at the knowledge that we getting. Look at what's being built right here. Look at what Commanding General Yohana is giving us. Right. You mean to tell me you couldn't give part of that? Right. You understand what I'm saying? You couldn't give a smidgen of that? Or a turkey. Or they're going to be full for one day. You understand what I'm saying? But what they going to do for the rest of the year? You understand? We learning to fish here. You understand?
You bring slack from the ground so powerful because it all ties in to that law.
There you go.
I always used to wonder, like, well, why do got people building schools in Africa? Yo, build one around our way. You know what I'm saying?
Again, the fruits of white society. You understand? And when you begin to understand the Maryland doctrine of exclusion, you'll start to look back and say, damn, is that why? Because think about it, right? My cousin tried to buy a gas station. They turned him down about 5 or 6 times to buy a gas station. A gas station that they giving immigrants coming over here. Somebody who lives here. That's a fruit of white society. You know why? Because off of think about a gas station. Think about oil prices now. Think about gas prices now. That's something you can build a community off of, a gas station. You know how much money a gas station makes in a day? Think about it, right? I remember when I first got my truck, right? I know I used to fill my truck up with $130. So just imagine every other week or every week or so, I'm going filling my truck up. Now imagine everybody else, they got a truck like that. Now and imagine everybody got those little cars. Imagine how much you can make in a day. If we all came and got gas the same day, just think about if 50 people came, and you know more than that come to a gas station. If 50 people come, you know how much that is? Think about 50 times 50. Just if you get $50 off everybody. Now think about that day after day after day. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just a fruit of white society right there. Think about a bakery. Think about an industry bakery I'm talking about. Not just a little mom and pop in the corner back there making donuts in the back. Talking about the industry. That's a fruit of white society. Something that a whole community can benefit off of. Now, think about this, right? We're going to go into the Asians. What's an Asian food? What's a popular Asian food? Okay, what's in Chinese food? And what else do you get with it? Egg roll, right? So what else do you get with that? What's the side thing you get with that? The soy sauce, right? So now, in order to make egg rolls, you got to have somebody who do the egg roll paper, right? And then you got to have somebody who do the cabbage that go in the egg roll, right? Now, we ain't gonna take the shrimp, but we're gonna say the chicken, the chopped chicken that goes inside the chicken egg roll. So now that's 3 people right there. So now you're gonna have somebody Asian doing the chicken, somebody doing the cabbage, and somebody doing the egg roll paper. Now you got somebody who got to do the soy sauce too, because we do the soy sauce. Remember, all of this goes together. Now we got somebody who we get our rice from too. And how about the vegetables that go in the vegetable fried rice? So now you got 5, 6 people in that one industry. So now we got a rice farmer who got to hire his people to help him with the rice, the soy sauce people who got to help him with the soy sauce, the trucks and everything like that. That's one big industry, and that's just off of one thing that the Asians got. Now let's go even deeper. We're going into the hair care and the nails. Where we getting the hair from? Right? Hairspray, combs, blow dryers, shampoo, conditioner, gel, all this shit just for the top, not to mention the caps and all of that. And then you go to the nails. That's a hell of an industry. $1 billion off our sisters alone. More than $1 billion. So you mean to tell me no sisters don't want to own an industry, not just a hair salon, but a whole industry? Think about if the sisters got together, just like they got together for Kamala and in 3 days got her $1.5 million. Think about if they got together and said, sis, we're going to have a shop here, shop there, shop there, shop there, shop there. We all going to get together and we're going to buy our stuff in bulk, and we're going to start putting certain people in position to start building, and we're going to start buying from them. So first we start off and somebody in the nail polish, selling nail polish. Figure out how we get the nail polish, how it's done. You get one person, we're going to start selling a certain amount of colors, then a certain amount of colors, then a certain amount of colors. Everybody going to get their stuff from her. Nail polish. That little thing that you put your hand under the dry your. Now we got to get somebody for that. You understand? And so on and so on and so on. The little plastic, I don't know what that shit them women be putting on their fingers. It's shit they paint, and the plastic part, the fake nails for. You understand? And make you know what I'm saying? You got somebody that's gonna do the acrylic or stuff like that. You understand? And build off of it. How do you think, what's it, Madam CJ Walker? How do you think that she got it done? You understand what I'm saying? And at that time, people didn't make hair care for black people. Now you got people who don't even use the stuff selling us the stuff. What do they know about it? You understand?
Like, do you think if you do that, you're going to end up like overblown?
What you mean?
Trying to build. I think that's what a lot of our people, they be like, some people, when I was in school, about like building, community and stuff like that. And they be like, I'm going to do my own thing because of what happened in the past.
Hey, listen, check this out, right? I hear what you saying, right? And I ain't talking about you, I'm talking about him. Yeah. I hear what you saying, right? But at the end of the day, if something like that happened, this is not the UPK, this is me. I'm fighting.
Right.
And it's going down to either I'm going to go or you going to go.
Right.
Right? You have to fight for what listen. The song says we want no cowards in our camp, that'll let their colors fly, right? We want nobody that's going to run.
Right.
We want somebody that's going to stand and fight.
Right.
You're not a fighter. If you're not a warrior, what good are you?
Right.
Can't even protect your family. You understand? Think about it, right? If you're scared of that, then you're scared to protect your family.
Right.
Because if somebody step in and start saying, well, we're not going to allow you to do this and take from your family, that means you're going to humble yourself out and say, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Homeborn slave.
I
You feel me? And with that, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Hey, listen, I'm gonna pick up the rest of this class Monday. So Monday history class, you come into Monday history class, we're gonna pick up. This gonna be part 2 of Monday's history class. You understand? So just remember where we at, just so I can pick up where we at. And with that, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command General Yohanan. Been bringing this truth since 1969. And truth is, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives are the true biblical Jews of the Bible, and the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks. So with that, I'm passing the class over to the priest and the officer Ganah.
We are tune in on Monday and bring the rest of this class out because it's a powerful class, man. We need to understand that these laws we follow in America definitely destroying us as a people, man. So, right, we're going to do security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohanan. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Slakia. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18, verses 21, and Malachi 3, verses 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew, and it's pronounced Mayashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, which is a free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. The up and coming Holy Convocation, I believe, is the Feast of Purim. It's Purim. I think it's 13th of March, 13th and 14th of March, right? So the up and coming Holy Convocation is in March 13th and 14th, which is the Feast of Purim. Come celebrate this high holy day. Also, remind Akim and Akwathium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events, and also be there. Pay your Passover fee because on April. The 56th annual Passover is on April the 10th. The week is the 10th, right? Yeah, April 10th, we'll be starting the Passover in Atlanta. Make sure you pay your tithes. Make sure you pay your Passover fees. It's going down to 56. The Lord's 56th annual Passover. All right. If a brother or sister, I'm Salakia. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he has to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and then scarves. And with that, in the visual, we're going to give one courteous salute to the teacher in the visual. Majan Shabbat, Majan Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Rakatah, Class dismissed.